just a change in style. Once that's done, and another begun, and I wonder how many miles. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent a little time on the hill. Well, things went down we don't understand, but I think in time we will. Now I don't know, but I was told in the heat of the sun, the man died of cold. You keep on coming, stand and wait with the sun so dark and the hour so late. This darkness has got to give. One way or another. One way or another. One way or another. This darkness has got to give. One way or another. One way or another. One way or another. This darkness has got to give.
And so it begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the Michael Butler Butz Show Quarantine Radio Spectacular over at the Sound Museum Quarantine Studios with John Lammy, and we are live. I think we're live. Okay, somebody's here. Yeah, we've got a party. No, yeah. Ain't no party like the Butz Show party, because the Butz Show party don't stop. Well, I'm super excited for tonight. This is a very special night in Butz Show history. Tonight, I get to talk to my own bandmate, Nick Swift from Barely Dead. And we're going to debut a video. Here's Nick. Make some noise, everybody. Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Am I here?
Yes, we hear you. Give him a round of applause. That's how it is. Woo! You know, the best part about this show, Nick, from my perspective, and it's a greedy perspective because, I know that I want everyone to have a good time. I bring the friends in, and we got friends on the side. But I really get to visit with people. It's like I don't get to spend enough time with my friends in today's current conditions, and this is how I'm able to do it. So it's really a real pleasure to welcome you onto the show because I miss you, my friend. I miss you.
Well, I miss you too, Butz, and it's the wonders of technology, Give us at least some semblance of togetherness in these crazy dark times. So, I'm just psyched to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, do I see D Vibes? I think Vibes is asking me if I see him. It's just so funny. I see the picture we put up.
I don't see him anymore.
We're trying to. Hey, yo, there's Vibes. D Vibes. That's him. I hear him.
Yo.
There he is. What up, Vibes?
Yes.
Dude, I mean, thank God you're here. Thank God you're here because, we're talking about friends, and it's just like, I can't, I need my friends about me right now. And, I mean, I haven't had to do this without you yet. I mean, it's not like, right. Yeah. We got a lot of work ahead of us, Vibes. I'm saying, like, I don't know if you've been following the show as closely as the last couple of days, Nick, but I've issued a WrestleMania inspired challenge to Jimmy Fallon that I'm going to take him out with in a battle of impressions of singers.
Okay.
And I think he's in trouble. I'm challenging him. I'm getting in his face however I can. Yeah, there it is. Hashtag Butz v Fallon. We're going for it. I think
There we go.
He's had his time at the top of the mountain. Okay, I've noticed that his head is a larger size than it used to be. He's doing well.
He is.
He's
definitely doing well. It's a comfortable life.
Yeah, and now we all have the same sort of like OBS driven, webcast tech show from our houses, and I feel like the playing field has been leveled. It's like, I am just as powerful as he is. He is now with, I'm right. Particles. I'm the same material that he is.
He uses the same equipment you do.
That's right. But, the funny thing.
Probably better equipment.
Well, the thing is, my equipment is humming right now. Like, as far as.
You have superior equipment.
Well, I'm talking like my equipment. Now. Me. All right. I'm fired up. I'm so excited to take this kid out because, like, me and D Vibes have been like looking for. We're a tag team without an opponent. You know what I mean? Like, we've been like a partnership.
Exactly.
Ready to take.
That's only because they're all too scared to get in the ring. They're all too scared.
Two of these baby faces.
Like he's gonna take Jimmy Fallon. I'm gonna take out Questlove.
See, I really do think, I wanted to offer Quest like the right to be passed over because I've been like, how I'm like supporting people with good live streams. Like, Quest is killing it every night on the DJ rig, and I don't have any gripes with him right now. I think he steps aside for me. I think he steps aside for me. You know,
I think he welcomes. I think he welcomes Butz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got into this at the end of last night's show, and there was actually a time where my guest from a couple nights ago, Eric Krasno and Questlove, were both playing as the backup band for Michael McDonald. Okay, and while this rehearsal is happening, I'm getting pictures. You know, like it's like, because why am I getting pictures? You know, why does anyone think Michael McDonald when they think of me? Is because, you know, I actually happen to do quite a serviceable Michael McDonald. And I know that this is where this whole rivalry started ultimately years ago between me and Fallon, is when he did the chorus of Michael McDonald's on his show. You know, he had a chorus of people dressed up as Michael McDonald, and I think they did like Row, Row Your Boat, and he was dressed as Michael McDonald, and Justin Timberlake was Michael McDonald, and then I think Michael McDonald was the third Michael McDonald, and then they had like a chorus of Michael McDonald's behind him. Okay? So ultimately, my gripe starts there because none of these guys did like a very good Michael McDonald at all, except for Michael McDonald. Okay,
yeah.
Mike was on point.
Michael McDonald did a good Michael McDonald.
Yeah, no, he was on. Mike was on point. Okay, never let it be said that he's not on point. So my point is that, you know, when these guys think Michael McDonald, they think of me. Okay, they sent me the pictures. Kraz was telling Quest about, you know, how good his friend's Michael McDonald was. Quest was doing his own Michael McDonald for Kraz, which Kraz said is very, very good. Surprisingly good, which is another bone of contention I have, which is then why is Quest not in that sketch? You see, I think that's reason enough for him to like just step aside.
Oh, Quest would have been in your Michael McDonald sketch.
Yeah, you're Kraz's boy? Oh, yeah, you know Mark. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I don't got a gripe with you. D-Vibes, I know who you were. You were about to open for me. We both got our gig canceled over there. Yeah, I don't got, yeah, have at him. He's had a good run. You know what I mean?
Okay, so here's the thing.
If he steps in the way, Vibes, he's yours. You can have him.
If I give Quest a break, that means James Poisner, like, I have to go to his keyboard player.
No, you're gonna take out every single musical act, every single if I'm taking out the host, you're taking out all the musical guys that are next to him, like co-host, like John Batiste is yours. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Watts is for you. Okay, these are both very good matchups for you. Like, this is a good tournament.
Yeah.
Like I don't got that smoke for Stephen Colbert. I'm a fan of his. I like what he does. He's never given me reason to like feel like he needs like a run-in with me. Okay? But Jimmy Fallon, however, needs to share the wealth at this point. I'm hungry. I'll take him out on his own terms, and that's the way it is. That's how. So that's just to get you back to speed. Oh, also, I put Howard's name on the street because I saw in my news feed right after I declared war on Fallon, there was this advertised post that came up in my feed that was just Howard just like stroking Fallon, just saying, "Oh, you do the best impressions. I could watch your Seinfeld all night. Oh, I love your show from home. It's like your daughters come into the shot and put the Play-Doh on your nose. I could just watch that all day. I love you, Jimmy. I love you, Howard." And everyone is, look, I've been a Howard apologist because everyone grows up. If he wants to have a more mature interview, I guess that's his business. But like, come on, bro! Like you made your bones on being like a little bit more real than that. And I don't know what you're doing. Maybe he's an important friend for you, but you're just come on. So, in the honor of my beef with Howard, I'd like to debut the new Butz Show logo. Okay, there it is, folks.
You know what I think it is, bud? I think Howard might be turning into Paul Heyman.
Paul who? Paul Heyman? Oh. No, he wishes he was Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman I got respect for. All right, so anyway, let's see. Well, I got respect for you, Howard. I'm not going to say that I don't, but I did, okay? I don't know who you are anymore. And so you're on my list. That means Vibes that means Vibes is coming after Robin and Lammy's coming after Fred, okay? And that's how it goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that,
Robin.
we need to. Yeah, all right.
He's already got like the lame sidekick name. We're going straight home.
Huh? I didn't hear what you said. Did we just lost vibes, I think, as far as image is concerned. Anyway, let's get back to yeah. There we go. Let's get back into the rhythm of the program here. I got Nick here. It's really good to be reacquainted with him here. We've been I haven't really seen your face. I don't think. Maybe briefly in a Zoom. I was getting in, you were getting out, or I was getting out, you were getting in. But how the hell are you? I mean, what are you doing with yourself? I see you got some guitars there. I've seen your live streams. I mean, what's good, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it was bad timing or either perfect or awful timing. I took a leave of absence from work to focus on music. I took it starting in February, and I was gonna go back in May, so 3 months off. And
sure.
Then all my gigs get canceled.
I think everyone stole your idea.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's a bummer, but also like I don't have anything to do, so I can just stay home and like cocoon myself in, and just try to like not get sick. So, but yeah, guitars and comic books and movies and video games get you through a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. I don't know. I feel like I had a million ways that I used to distract myself from what was going on out there for other reasons.
Yeah.
And now, like, for some reason, I just a lot of the things, and for me, it's actually turned into a good thing, because a lot of the things that I used to do, like deep dive TV shows, and just like really, just put the stuff in my head filled with information as much as I can. It's like a compulsion, but like since we've been shut in here, it's more like that part of that door is closed in my brain. I don't really feel like watching like TV for more than like 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, I think I've been, maybe there's more output in my life now because I'm like, plugged in over here. I've like transformed into like a virtual man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm a spirit.
You got nowhere else to go but through the interweb.
Yeah, like so, now I'm right. And spirit me like wants to like practice his keys more. Spirit me wants to like, do things that he didn't used to do.
I saw Spirit Butz play some Bill Withers, rest in peace. And it was fantastic. That was awesome.
Thank you. That was just something what felt like doing. It's like I'm not used to this. Yeah, what's up? Tell me, Vibes.
But Butz is like he's like the low key secret weapon on keyboards.
It's true.
It is.
When you live with another keyboard player, he's just kind of like Butz. He's so modest about his keyboard playing, but if you really knew like how like dope this dude was on keys, like I'd be in my room shedding. And like he just knocked me down, like, I hear you.
No, if I knew how dope I was, I'd be in my room shedding. That's I think how it works.
I'm like, that's the chord, bro.
That was tasty, man.
Well, you know what it is? You know what it is like my best friends are like D Vibes and Nigel. Okay, so it's like with two guys like that, like I've people wonder like what goes on. Like I've been banking notes. You know what I mean? Like in the back of my brain, like I've been banking like like voicings and harmonies,
right.
Just morphing around my brain, and I don't know. Yeah. Like I think that's what's happening. If I actually like devoted myself to it, and hey, it's worked for me this way. I'm sort of going with it, and maybe now I feel like we're all sort of going through changes. Like there was that Langhorn. What was that? What's his name? Langhorn Slim had an annoying commercial jingle. Like it was one of his songs was always on like during the Celtics games. Remember, Nick I know is a big Celtics fan, so he'll remember any commercial jingle that was played during a Celtics game. And this was the like what was it? Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Remember that one? Spend a lifetime
I think I
trying to figure it out.
I can't like place it, but it doesn't. It sounds
I'm going
like something
through
I've heard
changes
before.
now. They have just begun. See, this is where I had a problem. I was like, when I heard that lyric, I was like, whoa, that's deep, bro. I was like, deep. Yeah, I was like, yeah, man, like things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. I'm like, yeah, I'm going through right, dude. But then he's like, starts talking about this, like we'll be there soon on a purple moon and we'll fly in a balloon. Like that shit ain't happening, bro. Like I don't know. Me and Langhorne Slim in a balloon in a purple moon. It's like I thought this was a song that was real for a second. You know, it was like things could be stranger. Like, you know, I spent a lifetime trying to figure it out.
That's like the 15th verse of Desolation Road or something. Just he was like, no, I think I've gone too far. I'm done.
Yeah, we've all gone too far. Wait, I mean, I really just want to hear this song right now.
You know.
You know what's funny? You know, we haven't even really mentioned that we're going to debut a video in about 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, how about that? Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, right. I mean,
you wanna set the scene for how this video was made?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've told this story so many times on the air because but you know, I still have to frame it. I mean, there's no question it needs to be framed once more, because and yet again, because I'll never stop talking about what happened that day. Because that day changed the planet. It changed me. Everyone changed that day. Like something happened that day, and we were around each other, and we were especially busy. You know, we started out that day. We had actually, so we were going in to do a video shoot for the video that we were about to debut, and we had our plan was to do the video, and we were going to go do our residency later that night. And as normal, we play at Thunder Road every Wednesday without fail. It's been quite a run. We just celebrated our 5th birthday last Wednesday. We did not get to celebrate with the fam, and that is like a rain check party that will happen.
It will happen.
You know, like we haven't actually announced. I don't know what's up with the picnic, you know, but like I want to do it still somewhere, sometime, somehow. So, but I mean, yeah, well, because like whenever it's time to, like, you know, we're gonna have a major party whenever it's time to play again. So I'm looking forward to that. But I mean,
Plural.
Yeah. So we had a very difficult decision we had to do, which was decide not to do our residency. Like no one had told us from quite yet. No one had made any rules to restrict the size of the events.
There was no on high sort of message from any sort of federal or local government source to be like, hey, this is something we should think about doing. This was mainly the lucky fact that we had a guy like Milt Reeder in our band who's a doctor and was able to be like, guys, this is like way realer than you think. Like this is not like the other scares that we've had. Like this one is actually like this could be a biblical, like real bad.
Yeah, and the real argument, which is still true, it still holds true, is that the math isn't accurate because not everyone, the amount of people who actually get tested is extremely small. Yeah. So the only information we have is
the reason why that we're in the place we are is because there wasn't adequate testing. If you look at a lot of other countries that took the stance that we would normally take. In a situation like this, they're doing a lot better than we are. Yeah. It was one of those things where we were lucky to have some guidance from someone who we respect and, some guy who knows a lot more about this subject than any of us did. And so we took his advice and we were proven correct within like 5 hours when they canceled the NBA season. Tons of other shows started, the film
the dominoes started tumbling like in the middle of our first set. We ended up setting up a live stream over at Milt's studio, Rear Window Studios in Brookline. Beautiful facility, actually. And,
where this video was shot.
Where the video was shot. So we were already there that day shooting the video, so we decided to do a live stream. And we were being responsible, and we thought, but we didn't know. We really did. This wasn't like everyone was going to be on live streams like 2 days later.
No.
We didn't. It wasn't like that. We were just like, I don't know what we're going to do if we feel like we don't even have the evidence to say that we know that we believe that it's not safe to do this, but we're still going to offer a show no matter what. And that's what we were prepared to do. So,
Exactly.
But you know,
it was definitely one of those moments where we just had to trust them.
and the dominoes, right? And the dominoes. I just have to interject that continued to fall even after that day. Have led to what I'm doing here with John and this program, and just everything. The way we've been able to sort of continue to bring our people in by like hosting live streams on our Wednesdays at the Barely Dead page, at the Barely Dead family page we share there. I think we're broadcasting from both places. I'm still trying to keep up. I'm literally like locked into this portal. This is this is me now. We were trying to set up another live stream to go in here after we weren't going to end up at Rear Window because there was like a health scare over there. Thankfully, that was a non-event, did not happen. But we still didn't know what we were going to do. But by the time a week went by from where we weren't even sure what we were going to do. It was not even an option. We couldn't even, in good faith, come over here and put each other at risk.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably a much harder decision for me personally, because I know I was one of the ones who said, guys, I'm not comfortable coming down. And
Right.
That was like, as hard as it was to not play on a Wednesday, to not like get together with you guys and play at all was like that,
Heartbreaking.
It was not an easy sort of decision or feeling I came to. It was sort of, you just had to look at all the facts and realize like this is just one of those times in life where you gotta do the right thing for yourself and by extension everyone else by staying home. Just don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I've been lucky that I'm in a situation here where I can actually get something like this going. So it really did feel like an obligation. Like once I was here, I was just like, what do I do at this point? I just have to do something. But I mean, yeah, I was right there with you, by the way. I mean, I remember in discussions, I think the way I put it was like, I'll do it. I'll be there. I'll do it. I don't believe I'm comfortable with this.
Yeah.
Like I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
Like
And I was
maybe
just
I'll be
like,
over here.
I
Like there's
will
like
be
there's this nice little nook over here, and I like being over here. I'm like anyone that comes in and out of here might be over there. Yeah. But I'm in here, and so this is where I like to be. But this is where the keyboards are. It's where I feel comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was really tough.
That's
And,
where you belong, where the keyboards are.
Vibes, I gotta tell you, it was so great that you were right there, right off the rip. Somehow because he gets tagged in the video, he fired it up, and like I saw his surprise when the screen came on and it was me at the keys. Like that made me feel good. D vibes. It was nice to see you there. But we're getting some excitement going about this video. Let's just talk about, okay, so we know that we filmed this video, but the joy of making a video, obviously that was a stressful day. Is that me? That is me. Oh, that was a donation. Thank you. Let's see.
Huh.
Ka-ching!
Hey!
That's right.
Yeah!
Not bad.
Cha-ching!
I listen. I just want to keep like giving. Once we play the video is like we're not going to play it until like noon. You can't see it again until noon. Maybe like if you like secret. See, I just want to listen to Langhorne Slim right now. Wait, what am I playing? What's playing against him? There it is. Ah, I see. Yeah, where's Langhorne? Okay, I gotta tighten up if I'm coming after Fallon. All right.
yeah.
This is that song.
So
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how.
Been in quarantine.
I'm going through changes now.
Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out.
I'm
Going through changes now. All right, thank you. That's all. Thank you. Some things I just find very amusing.
There's many reasons we all
Stop it. I thought I shut him up. Know when you're supposed to go, Langhorne. You can go back to your box. Like another 3 years, I'll pull you out again. We'll do this bit. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We're going to get to this video. Are we ready? I mean, can I get some like reactions from the people out there? Can I get some comments? Like, what's going on? Are you guys ready to see this video right now? We're debuting a video. This is a video for Mississippi Half Step, right? Pretty excited about it. Did I lose Nick Swift? Oh no, he's frozen.
I'm looking at the comments.
Oh, cool. Oh, right, because I got a delay. And I'm not talking to Christine Delay. Hey, I see you out there, Christine. Shout out. Shout out, shout out.
Christine wants me to
Yo, what's up?
That's not a cowboy hat on. That is my girlfriend's sun hat.
Oh. Oh. I want to build this anticipation like to a fervor and a frenzy. Because much like you and much like me and the rest of them, we're all pretty starved for a little Barely Dead right now.
Yeah.
Like dude, starved. I'm starving.
It's a withdrawal. I mean, it's a weekly, shot in the arm that just get taken from us.
All right. Well, I'm putting it. I'm going out on a limb, okay? And I'm just committing us. I don't know if we're gonna get it done by Wednesday, but I'm committing us to like a group video production salad.
Right.
We're gonna pack
those.
Yeah. We'll put us in. We'll do some windows. I don't care what it takes. Just know that I've got the great John Lammy to my right, and like the audio is gonna like be amazing. It's all gonna be in phase, okay? No. I know better. I know that he's like I hope so. I'm like no. I know better because I know that he doesn't leave this room until it's right. He doesn't. Like I don't have to put him. I don't say you don't leave this room until it's right. It's right because he didn't leave the room. But anyway, okay, so yeah. It's time. All right. Like Nike, we're just going to do it. Let me kill my volume. We can kill their volume. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. World premiere video on the Butz Show. Here's Barely Dead with Mississippi Half Step Toodle-oo.
On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. I had the mark just as plain as day, which could not be denied. They say the king called Abel, rolling loaded dice. The ace of spades behind his ear, and him not thinking twice. Half step, Mississippi uptown, a toodle-oo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rockin' rye, farewell to you, old southern sky, and I'm on my way, on my way. If all you got to live for is what you left behind, get yourself a powder charge and seal that silver mine. Lost my boots in transit bay, pile of smoking leather. I nailed a retread to my feet and prayed for better weather. Half step, a Mississippi uptown, a toodle-oo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rockin' rye, farewell to you, old southern sky, and I'm on my way, on my way. ship comes in, the first man takes the sails. The second takes the after deck. The third, the planks and rails. What's the point in calling shots? The cue ain't straight in line. A cue ball's made of styrofoam. Ain't no one got the time. Half step, Mississippi uptown, a toodle-oo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. A half a cup of rockin' rye. Well, to you, old southern sky, and I'm on my way, on my way, on my across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river. Across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river. Yeah.
Well, all right. Do we have everybody? Everyone's back? Well, all right. Well, let's start it back up again. Start up the Butz machine. All aboard the Butz wagon, folks.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, I see everyone. All right, welcome back. That was fun.
Back.
That felt good.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, Lammy is
I
crossified.
was watching on the stream, and it was like crystal clear.
Right? Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, so John wants to, crucify himself on the cross of shame because, hey, what's going on with D-Vibes? He's in the middle there. We have a thing there. Because we learn things about the tech every day. And, we integrated the new player because we thought it was like eliminating a step. Why stream the middleman? Let's use the player inside the program. So we did that, but when we cut the audio to the Skype, it cuts the audio to the player. So we like missed the first note of the tune. So we're probably gonna play it. So we're gonna play it again. We're gonna play it again. We missed like the first note of the song. That's what. I'm glad you agree with me. It was your note. I think we'll play it one more time at the end of the show. Just to say
that one note. Just play the one note.
You want the one note?
Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, play the one note. Yeah, play like it's like give. We'll do like 3 or 4 notes. Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you. That's good. That was more than I needed. Not bad.
What note was it?
All right, we're good. We're even now. We're going to get it in post.
Right.
Put it at the beginning, and we're good. Yeah, hell of a solo you took on that. Yeah. That's it.
There you go. I'll do the rest of the show like this.
Same, bro. All right, so, that was a hell of a solo you took on that. Like, I feel like, like, I don't really, I mean, I feel like I know a little bit about, like, what like, the choices you made, but I feel like you did a nice sort of, like, let me give him, like, 3 different, like, looks at a guitar sound in your approach to that song. And I think it's really cool the way you sort of did that. That's what I got out of it.
Well, I'll take it because, I don't want to speak for D Vibes, but I don't know. When I solo, it's hard to really, I have very few thoughts going through my head. You're just sort of going along for the ride.
Yeah.
And
that's the way to do it, bro.
Yeah. So that's one of those ones where I took it and I was like, I think at first I wasn't too happy with it because there are a couple of sort of hiccupy moments where, it's like, oh man, I didn't quite nail that or something, or a little flub. But then I listened back and I just, I didn't really hear the flubs as much. Yeah. And I thought I had good energy, so we just was like, all right, screw it. Let's just.
I mean, that's really an important thing to come to terms with as a musician, is that, like, there's like this, there's like a place you're trying to get to, and it's like you have to, like, whether or not, like, you get there perfectly or not, it's like the job is to get there, and sometimes, like, it's perfect when you get there. So, like, however you got there, that was perfect. Like, it happened. That magic that happened. That feeling happened. So that's that works. It is perfect.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where something that I've had to come to terms with is like understanding that as a musician know a lot more about what's going on musically than the average person listening to it, and you don't need to like worry that much about everything being perfect because people don't know, like it's a whole language that you've learned that most people don't know how to speak. They just know how to feel.
Right.
And as long as they feel what they need to do, they don't care if you played a diminished, half diminished or diminished, there. They just like
exactly.
Feel. Right. So, it's
exactly. That's
yeah.
Vibes?
For sure.
Wait, I think I lost you for a second. Say it again, D Vibes.
I said that's true, man. It's like we as musicians, when we get into our own head, I know, like, when I take a solo or something, after it, I'm like, dang, I could have done this, but it's, like you said, just riding that moment. And, a lot of people don't understand, but they can feel what you're doing, and they want to support you because they want to go along for your journey.
Right. And I think the most important thing that happens when you're making music, or like even like any sort of performance art in general, is sort of there's a mechanics involved to what you're doing, no matter what it is. But the thing that everyone has to remember to do, beyond like the actual fashioning of notes physically, is to feel something. Like, because none of it means anything unless you like take a moment to like enter like a real mood inside of you, or just capture something like the mood of the piece. You know what I mean? Let yourself be affected by the music, and then play. Because
it's true, man.
Just play one note.
It's like you could probably name your favorite guitar solo that you heard growing up, you know, or your
Right.
favorite record. You probably know that note, that solo note for, because like they took you on that journey, like you went on that journey with it.
Oh yeah.
Every time you hear that song from Led Zeppelin or Parliament or whatever the tune, or Herbie,
Right.
any solo it is, you know, like
I
when
think
that solo drops, like you go into that zone. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I know. Actually, I think like Nick and I actually like currently have like the same favorite guitar solo. Like secretly, like
Okay.
I have like I think both guitar solos in Kid Charlemagne are like the two best guitar solos ever. Like the middle of the song and the outro is. I even like the outro more than that Miracle in the middle of that song. But the solos in Kid Charlemagne, Nick, at least top 5.
Oh, easily. I mean, Larry Carlton is a genius. I mean, it's one of those like it's one of those solos where, as a guy who I went to school ultimately for music, but I didn't go to school for music. I just ended up at my
Right.
college, which was liberal arts. I thought I was going to do film and theater. Instead, I switched over to music like halfway through. You know,
Sounds
a lot
familiar.
of people were way more advanced than I was. So
Sounds
it was
familiar.
always, you know, there was always this sort of inadequacy I felt. And it's the type of solo in Kid Charlemagne that makes me want to be like, how do you come up with that? Like, it's every little note is the perfect note to play. There's no
Right.
wasted fat. The licks are intricate but accessible. You know, he's darting all over the fretboard, all these different fingerings and I can't remember the word, but
Yeah,
it blows my
dopeness.
mind.
It's like that's a word. It's like it is one of those things, right? From the exposition of it
Yeah.
into like the tone of it to the delivery, the vibe, the feeling, all of it. It's just it's a
Right.
total clinic in everything, and it's just like come
It's-
on.
yeah.
Right.
How many
it's-
songs have a second solo that's better than the
Yeah,
first? That's
man.
even better than the first one. Like I don't even understand that madness.
Well, I think the
Oh,
reason. We'll go for it,
you
Diva.
know,
All right, come on in.
No.
He's you
Herbie.
snooze, you lose. Oh, he's talking Herbie. All right.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
But
you said a solo that comes better for the second one.
Yeah.
oh, you've already-
Oh, you think Herbie has one? You got an example? Well, that's like 5. We're having trouble with your signal, D-Vibes. I wonder if you can tighten up a little bit.
Da, 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 da. All right, let's see.
Yeah. Little tight. The tightening.
Hang up your hang up.
Hang up. That's the one. Wait, let me put this on. Let me see what the heck is going on
That's
in this
the
tune.
one. You know, it's like he takes a solo and then like the B section or Chameleon. I mean, Chameleon is just like that's like 4 or 5 solos in one tune. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Chameleon's a good example. Chameleon is a good example. I mean, okay, but when you're talking about a guy like Herbie Hancock, this is like a 5-minute pop tune, okay? Like, we're not talking about like Herbie playing 5 dope solos in a 15-minute tune. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a fair comparison, D-Vibes.
it's like Fish. It's like, yeah, Trey's second solo is like the 30-minute one. But I think the reason why it works so well in Kid Charlemagne is because the first one is over such a intricate sort of jazzy chord progression.
Right,
He's tied to some sort of restrictions,
right.
and it's beautiful, but it also is like one of those things you kind of have to think through with him.
Totally.
As a listener. Jazz is the jazziness of it forces you to be a little tense. You're not quite sure what's following, so you're sort of you got your eyes on the road. But then when the second solo hits, it's over like a 3-chord jam or something like that. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
it's like a real simple, really poppy, accessible. Like, all right, we've just gotten through this whole crazy thing,
Right.
and now we're
it's
just like here
right.
for this big bombastic.
It's like hit the highway into the sunset. It's like
Right.
it's just the
You
ultimate
got out of
outro.
rush hour.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Kid Charlemagne, and here, like, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. You know, I've got plans. You called down the thunder, Nick. Well, now you got it. Like, I remember when I think I did like maybe my first little attempt at piano and singing Wednesday night after, like the first Wednesday. The first thing you dropped in the comment side was like, "Play some Steely Dan."
Yeah.
Well, the Quarantine Combo is working on a dance set for Wednesday night, my friend.
Oh my god, because I have the Kid Charlemagne solo down.
Oh.
That's in my
Oh
pocket.
well, when that maybe we can work on something like that. But you know, that is like a song that might just be above my pay grade as a keyboard player. But
Well, that's
I think
what
I
we
can
call
keep up with the
either
changes.
Steve Vibes or Justin Lopes.
I think
Oh,
you
that's
got
right.
it.
That's
Reach-
right.
reach
That's right.
for it.
That's right. No, Vibes is right. Everyone should just tell me, like, you know, like you can't leave until you get that track right. You know what I mean? And then
just get it. Yeah, just learn it.
it's what I need, right? Exactly. I'll learn it. I can learn that. I can learn that tune. I can learn that tune. Damn it! We played it like we got through like 85% of it the other night.
And that song is about, you know, Owsley Stanley, the engineer of the Wall of Sound. You know, the financial backer of the Grateful Dead early on. Had them selling his acid out on the parking lots. You know, that is Grateful Dead lore, and Barely Dead is all about Grateful Dead lore.
Yeah,
so.
I think right, and it's all about fam, and that's fam to the fam, so it makes it. There's a crossover. It's famously fam, and you know that, like, you know, anything I say on the Butz show is like property of the Butz show. So like it's like an instant copyright. So like all those conversations we had about ideas we might have, it's like no, don't say it on air. No, but if I say it on air, that means it's ours.
It's ours.
Officially.
No
Officially. So I'm ready for that Steely Your Face set.
Steely Your Face.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to do Steely Your Face with a PH, but not fish.
Ooh. Oh.
Steely Dan, Grateful Dead, Phil Collins.
See, you know me, bro. Like, nobody you know has more respect for Phil Collins than I do. So, you know, I'll even mess with the solo stuff. You know what I mean? I'm down.
Yeah. I think it would just like in a set filled with Steely Dan and then Grateful Dead, just hearing like really intensely gated reverb 80s snare drum just suddenly start playing would be pretty magical.
I'm just noticing we got a hell yeah from B. Sayers. I think he's talking about the Steely set. I think you know, I know for a fact that Sayers wants in on anything that we ever play that involves Steely Dan. And I just want to go on this rant for a second, because since we are like I am going to play like a handful of songs. You know, they're almost ready to go now, so I don't see why. It is more the Can't Buy a Thrill era. You know, it's the charts are a little more merciful. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
It is more of that era, but. You know, and I'll leave it there. I'm not going to tell anyone what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's much like how I'm coming at Fallon. It's better if you don't know, because like that'll make the surprise that's shocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's like we're going to have fun. It's like me, Lammy on bass, and Ted Rock McCrary on the drums. You know, it's like fam. I got fam with me. It's like. It's crazy. I'm quarantined. We got a trio. This is the best we can manage. This is as comfortable as I'm going to get with a live experience. I'm like lucky that I got guys around me to do something like this. But we're going to put that video together. Maybe we'll do the video for Charlemagne, and maybe that could be like a closer.
Ambitious, yeah.
Oh, this is really getting ambitious. This might have to wait a week, because I've had other offers to like on. I could put like a whole thing together. Like just think in terms of like some of the cast members of the Butz show, and then you'll start to understand what kind of plans are in play right now. But we need to do that. We need to do these video things, because that just looks like fun. It's something to do. We haven't done it yet. Let's do it.
No, for sure. We've been talking about trying to get something together like that. You know, one of those. We all record our parts and stitch them all together.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I actually saw the. I've seen a couple. I saw like what was it? Zach and Cal and Dan from the New Motif and Neighbor. They did like a thing, a little. They whipped together a thing, and I saw Lettuce. They did a nice little thing. I'm liking all these things. You know, like this is an interesting thing because in itself, because this is like I think it was Kraz who said something about this is technology that was 2 years away, but now it's 2 weeks. It's like we were going to be there in 2 years with all this, but it's now 2 weeks.
Now we need it.
Right.
Yeah.
So here we are, and it's given us an opportunity to all sort of get some skills on this. A lot of times when they introduce these new technologies, some people jump right in, and like most people are busy playing music, and they don't, figure out like how to like keep up with something like that until it's too late. But here we are. Everyone's going to have to learn how to tighten up their own home studio and get something cooking. So that, in the event that, like, they need to stay in that night, for whatever reason, that you have some means of sharing music with, the people who follow you as well as the people you like to make music with.
Yeah.
We cannot be stopped. We will not be deterred.
No, I mean, where there's a will, there's a way, and there's definitely a will to have this kind of thing happen. So, yeah, I mean, that's when there's a need for something, something will arise to solve that need. So hopefully it's, I've heard about like Jam Kazam and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's really everything it says it is.
Jam Kazam, what's that?
I don't know, it's some like app or it's like some sort of, supposed to be low latency sort of jam. You can get together with your friends and jam over the internet.
Yeah, I was thinking that there could be some sort of like.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I like the name.
Yeah, Jam Kazam.
They got a good name.
I would think that there would be some sort of quantizing mechanism that could sort of like lock everything in at a time. Somehow like a heavy-handed quantizer could somehow cheat the latent time and just force everything to be in time with itself, whether or not it actually is. It's got to be something. I don't know.
It's tough because it's got to get there and back.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. It's like music in itself has to be done in close proximity because time is what makes it work. And time is never the same on one side of the room and the other side of the room. The note is already late by the time it travels over there.
Yeah. Yeah, solving that issue is key. But I think, this type of thing where it's like, well, we landed on the moon.
Yeah, we've done a lot of things.
We figured this out. That's kind of how I feel.
I think it's going to happen. I made a plea. It was like last night to like, they were talking about how like Bill Withers, I had Nigel and Jeff Lockhart on with D-Vibes. And they were talking about, Nigel had brought up how Bill Withers sort of like left on top like Barry Sanders. Like he didn't want to be a part of like the industry, where it was going, that would have him sort of compromise his message. And he just sort of like went out like that. And it was just, I don't know. I think about it all. I think about the options that we have. It's just, I don't know. I'm just trying to, encapsulate it, but, we have we're very lucky to be in a position where we can take advantage of the tools of the time. It's like it's right now it's kind of the mission was essentially to put the music, to keep putting the music in everyone's homes no matter what happens. It's like when they said everyone had to, when they canceled all the shows, because this is a real thing. I don't know. I assume a lot of people who are watching the show understand what it is about the show, and that, yes, musicians are home, and all of our work has been canceled. And we're not the only ones, but we are certainly. There's nothing going on here, and but more than that is music is an important part of life and well-being. Like, how do we get the music to the people in a way when they need it, and how do we get it? How do we keep delivering it? Because we need that too. We need to keep playing it. We need to continue this. And I didn't necessarily even know, and I still don't necessarily even know just how best this show that I started doing when we had no other choice. We couldn't do a music show, so I had to go back to doing a radio show. And that was but as in radio format, this is where what's it supposed to be used for? It's sort of like a place now where people in music, where we can actually talk this out and we can figure exactly how we're supposed to go forward. Like exactly like when there's a new technique that someone learns, it's like we're sharing that technique. It's like, oh, I use this app.
Yeah.
Indeed, bro.
Yeah.
It's true. Like now, the age that we're stepping into is like, I can see holograms being more like used in the near future on the other side of this.
Yeah, like I can see like a
kind of
camera,
crazy
like setting
thing,
up a
but,
camera in here.
They brought out the hologram Tupac.
The hologram Zappa.
Yeah, hologram Zappa went on tour. I think hologram Dio went on tour.
Wow.
Right? I don't know. Nowadays, like I never wanted to see a hologram, but like maybe now I would. Like, I just took some work. I was hired. I want to give a shout out to the Raskins. I sang for Josh and Karen and many, 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 many others via Zoom. And that was like, as an entertainer, I got hired to, play a party. You know what I mean? Via these technologies. And I guess if I didn't work so hard, if we didn't work so hard, at all of this, there'd be no. That was business that I was able to get that actually helped make people's days a little better, and is all because of like the work that seems like, what are we doing right now? Why do you go on the air every night? I don't know. It's kind of like we're figuring out why every day, I guess, is my point.
Well, I think this is going to be one of those things where when we are back to normal.
It's because we're
hold on a second, Vibes. What were you saying, Nick?
Well, I was going to say, I think it's one of those things when we get back to when times are normal and we're allowed to, go out and do the things we normally do. I think myself included, but I think a lot of people will definitely be trying to not stay in on days when in the past they'd be like, I don't really want to go out. It's sort of like, well, remember when that was taken away from us? Like, do you want to miss out on a potential memory when there could be another time in the future where we're not able to do this?
Yeah.
So there could be a rebound, I think, once this all sort of normalizes. I think there could be a push for the entertainment industry, sort of selfishly speaking in our sphere, that, it's like, okay, more people are going to come out, I think.
I really hope that's the case. Science will be able to give us that sense of security if we know that it is safe and that we aren't at risk of catching this virus that we don't want. You know what I mean? Like then I think everyone will, once we know that it is safe, everyone will definitely
safe. That's the key.
And that's going to be I think that's going to be a process that is going to be. I think there's definitely going to be a grace period involved, but
for sure,
I do think,
agree.
It'll take maybe even as much as a couple years before everyone like sort of like gets back to living the life that they know how to live.
Yeah.
And maybe, but I honestly am wondering how it's all going to unfold. Yeah. I mean, we're not scientists ourselves. It's just we're at the mercy of what we hear, and no one really wants to even like get that far ahead of themselves, because we have bigger problems and they're at hand. We can't start thinking about the light at the end of the tunnel because we haven't seen it yet.
No, absolutely. There would definitely be. I think it's going to depend on sort of how soon that light at the end of the tunnel comes. If it's the next couple months, see it being okay. If it's for the next 6 months or longer, then it's going to be a pretty long process.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for for it to get to about like 100, 200 people. That you can have like 100 or 200 person gathering, like maybe not 1,000, 2,000 yet or whatever that might be, but as soon as we can get 100 people together, I think we're gonna fire the lights back up on Thunder Road, God willing,
Yeah.
Like God, that is something I need. I want like restrict. Are we going to be able to like meet in small groups first? Like, are they just going to open the doors? This is the questions I keep asking myself because I'm like, can I have a band over for the love of God? because
Right.
like we could actually start hosting bands like every night. We could really get this going.
Well, I think if gets to a point, and I don't, I have no idea what this would take or how likely this is to be the case, but ideally, if we get to a point where you can get a test just easily, like if you're able to just go, hey, do I have this? And they're like, no. And they're like, okay, cool. And then you can get together with your small group of friends that have all like found out, no, we're good. Like, all right, we can get together.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that's happening, if that's happening, or if there's a vaccine that comes out at any point in the next year. But, that's all. I know that's all sort of a long process.
Well, it's amazing how I feel like I've like put my head down and I've been like tunneling through this. Let's not like look at the big picture. Let's just do a show every day. Let me
Day
just
by day. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just get out here and do a show like yesterday, and I won't necessarily be able to look back and see how much time has elapsed. But the thing that I'm missing by approaching it that way is ultimately I'm not spending enough time just like really acknowledging. Like I'm looking at the people and the names of the people that I see out in the comments, and I miss all these people. Like, and I missed them. Like a couple days after it happened, and now we're almost at like 4 weeks. It's unbelievable, but it's been what is it, like over 3 weeks since the last time we were around each other was the 11th of March. So yeah.
So almost 4. Yeah, it's about a little over 3 weeks.
That's a lot. And that's like a long enough time. Now I'm looking back at all of the me's that did shows one day to the next. It's like it's like a big long string now. It's like it seemed like it was just I was just going to do this, but it's like a string of me that I'm looking back at all the way, and it's just I cannot believe. I can't. I mean, it's been a long time. That I missed everyone then. I think I really miss everyone a lot more now. Enough time has elapsed that like I can shift gears, I think, and just really feeling the weight of it. It's just like what's going on right now.
No, the Butz is not a solitary creature.
No, I mean, you know what it is about me? It's like I'm a Libra, and the way it works is like when I have all that I need in love and people in my life, and I'm blessed that way. There's so much love that I get to share in, from like the BDF. In our scene, and as well as like the Lettuce family that's been good to me over the years, and just all through the wherever I've been, you know what I mean. I've been very lucky to have to just really meet some people that have enriched my life. I have a nice collection of people, but yes, that being said, as good as I might have it, like I do both things. Like I'm good at this quarantine business. Because, like, if I'm not out there, I am, like, locked in, Like, I go, like, all, like, you won't see me. Like, I don't do in-between things. Like, go out when I'm home, go out to sit down at a restaurant or something like that. Or, I don't go to the bar and hang out and have a drink and order a nice meal and do things like that. I'm a shut-in. And then, like, I'm like, all the way out. When I'm out, I'm, like, a lunatic. And a man of the people. But when I am in, it's like I'm watching wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the same. Like, I'm even more so like built for this thing. So,
right.
I haven't suffered as much as like my girlfriend has. She definitely is someone who likes to go and do things, and she's doing fine. But it's definitely not as easy for her as it is for me.
Yeah, well, this is really hurts because it hurts me in a personal way because I feel like I'm somebody like my parents aren't far from me, and yet I know I generally do not see them often enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it doesn't mess with you when you're being like a fool who just gets caught up in your day to day. But now that like I really, have no reason to go out there. It really hurts. All I really want to do is go out there. That's what I want to do.
Dude, I feel the same way. I mean, I'm fortunate to be able to see my parents all the time because they come to all these Wednesday shows, and
I see them a lot. I see them more than I see my own parents. I think.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And like when I was working, and even when I'm not working, I often like use their house kind of as like a stopover point for gigs and things like that. It's a good place to sleep if I have like a show, in the morning at the Sinclair or something like that. I can sleep there instead of out here in West or in Marlboro. But yeah, it's one of these things where I would just I totally agree. You just kind of want to go hang out with them, because you're like, man, this is more real than it's ever been, you know. And
yeah, I mean, I've contemplated. I think we talked ourselves out of it. I was almost about to go over there and like sit on the back porch, and,
Right.
and maybe like my mom would slide me like a plate of food, like
Right.
out the screen door, and I could smile at them like through the glass.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I think that's something we have to be cool with. It's like, is this like is it too much like living in a science fiction movie if you're like waving at your parents through like glass? And like wake up, guys, because we are living in that science fiction movie. So that's what you do. You've seen the movie. You do see them through the glass.
Yeah.
There's like a love scene in Contagion where like people like where there's like a shower curtain separating some intimacy.
Oh Lord.
It's like because like when you can never touch. It's like who knows, but like hey, try it. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to say.
I couldn't bring myself to watch that movie. Everyone was watching Contagion.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either, bro.
Idea.
I can't do that kind of thing either. It's like, dude, I
don't think it's a good idea right now.
Yeah, like look out your freaking window, okay? You don't need to see Contagion right now. Pull out get the popcorn and like just look out the window. Ain't no motherfuckers there. Ain't nothing shit happening. Nothing happening. That's Contagion.
Our version is way scarier than that version because our version's actually happening.
It is, and it's just like it's scary because like no one really people are watching two different movies. That's the scariest thing about this movie is that like I guess Marty Walsh finally said, "Hey, Boston, stay home. There's a curfew. You ruined it for everyone because everyone was still hanging out.
Oh my!
You could drive around the city and people are out. People are doing things.
Yeah.
It kind of it's one of these things where it's getting my goat a little bit. You see a lot of like sort of people talking about how it's like infringing on their rights or something like that. It's like, guys, it just isn't the time for that. Like now is the time to just stay home. We'll worry about that afterwards. Once all the numbers come down, we'll worry about that.
That's all.
But just stay home, just for right now.
But I guess people are worried about bills,
No,
it's the first of the month, and
that obviously
there are thousands of
yeah, and that's another thing is that there isn't a lot of there. You hope we had all hoped that like that a message would be sent from on high on the government that is, no one will be evicted under any circumstances. And things have been said to that degree, but it has not been enforced. I hear stories all the time of people being put in that bind right now. So underneath the radar, I don't think humanity or this country in particular has come together quite like we had hoped, quite like we like to think that we do as Americans. That we're America, the greatest country in the world. We come together. We're here for our fellow man and woman.
We haven't done that in a long time, I feel, and I think, like,
just look at the.
Hey, Vibes. Maybe you should call in on the phone. Well, let's get you out of that window because I think all episode you're in slow motion. I think it's like where you'll talk and then like the whole phrase will come in just a little slow, so it enters late, it moves late. Just a weird thing, we dialed you in the last time, and we got to do that next time. But call me on the phone, and then we can do this.
All right.
Yeah. D-Vibes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, we've been having so much fun on this show.
This is a ray of something, at least for people. A ray of
It's a ray of something.
Sunshine
The Butz
at a
Show.
midnight hour.
A ray of something. I
A
like
ray
that.
of something. That's your call. That's the Butz Show. A ray of something.
Yeah, and it's like that. I just love this new logo. I want to thank my friends at the Stern Show for designing it so nicely. I think it looks very handsome down here. Yeah. I can see why you went with yours, but it's mine now. All right, you had your time, and it sucks, Howard. I'm talking to Stern now because, maybe you could have been one guy who was boomer-proof. They're coming after your whole generation for just not letting go and handing the reins over, not really reaching out to the next generation and bringing them along for the ride and setting them up. It's like, who follows you? You never cared about that. You know what I mean? And it's like the only way a guy gets to follow you, Howard, is if he starts doing something like this, that right there, right there. That logo tells me that what is yours is now mine. I'm coming for you. All right, Howard, I respect you. I'm coming for Fallon, though, because that'll be fun. But, yeah, okay, here's D-Vibes. D-Vibes! We here?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're perfect now. So, yeah, I don't know. What's good?
Right,
So, I
yeah.
actually want to ask Nick. You're right. You're quarantined. We talk about everyone, making music and their setup. I mean, I've seen your live streams, but are you multi-tracking? You got some. I know you have your. Maybe we should talk about your solo projects. I know that you play in a band called Bobsled and a few others. So maybe maybe you're writing tracks. Maybe you got plans. What's going on over there?
Well, the problem is my computer is sort of on its last leg. So I think by the time I was planning on, once I had a little bit more scratch together, upgrading everything, but now I can't go to the stores you need to go to make all that happen. So yeah,
it's rough right
I am
now.
writing, definitely taking the time to write some music, working on some stuff. Yeah, Bobsled one day will rise again, I'm sure.
I want tunes. Now is the time to write tunes, though.
I know, it really is. And have a little secret collab hopefully going on.
Yeah, I would say it's essential. I mean, now is that time. It's the funny thing is that we were trying to upgrade tech in the beginning and order some special things to make our life easier. And, it was oh, well, in the stores, no one had what we were looking for. We could just, because we called ahead, we're not just going to go out and wander around. But
Right.
this was in the beginning, and we're calling ahead, and then we're going to well, we could just order it, delivery options, 2 months from now.
Right.
It's just really, it's not that easy to get the gear.
No. I mean, everything's at such a standstill right now.
I would think that they're keeping computer stores open.
Are they?
I don't
Are they
know.
essential?
I would think that now this gear is kind of essential to some.
Well, yeah, you could make that argument.
I mean,
actually.
I don't even know if I can say that it's essential for me. It's been essential for me. Would it be legally essential? I mean, there are definitely other scenarios where this type of gear is going to be essential.
Yeah. No, I mean, Amazon's still shipping stuff, so, if it's on there, you can still get it. But some things are taking a lot longer than they normally would, and rightfully so. But yeah, it's
that pandemic.
Yeah. That's been, I think, yeah, it's funny how Amazon, terrible company, but they're, every once in a while, it's oh, I need something in a day. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you get a monopoly going.
Right, I need it, and you're okay, I need to get we'll buy a bulk thing of toilet paper and a bulk thing of paper towels every couple months just to sort of have what we need, and oh, okay, that's not available. Oh, the cheapest one is like some third-party seller for like $85 for like a roll. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
a whole
man,
other thing.
Things have changed.
Things have changed, and you know, I don't know. I really don't like this whole market experience. It's like it's really traumatic. Like leaving my you know my enclosed reality when I go out there. It is just the weirdest thing. Like I don't know. You still have that picture of me with the full scarf and the hood, but. Like, you know, I'll just like it's the craziest thing. It's like you prepare for the outside world. It's like we are living in that science fiction movie. You know, like we're preparing for the outside world. I get into my gear. I like wrap myself up. I go out there and it's like normal outside, but I'm dressed like this. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, let's go. It's not safe out here.
We thought the apocalypse would be a lot more cloudy and orange. And
right.
It's just normal.
It's just
a normal day.
And there's a couple assholes on the street that are like just not even like noticing that anything has changed whatsoever.
Right.
So I was like, well, that guy is just walking around next to somebody and they don't have anything on. I'm like,
nothing.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 of them and in close proximity. You know what? This has been the thing that bothers me the most is that these delivery drivers you'd think would get used to the idea that they're supposed to drop things at the door, but you'd be shocked how many drivers like look at me like, open the door, like, because I have a glass door, you know, at the bottom, at the front door of the building. So it's like, they're just like, oh, no, I can't get in. I'm like, you're not supposed to get in, okay? Just leave the food, okay? Put it down, okay? You're cool. I like you. I'm not, you know, it's not an indictment on you, sir, but drop the food and walk away.
Walk away.
Go back to your car. And then I'm going to pick up the food and go inside and then, like, wipe my body down and the food with 1,000 different things.
Yeah, right. I had a moment at Target the other day. Allie and I went to go stock up on food. And we're going to check out. And they have, like, the self-checkout areas where you swipe your own stuff. And then they had some woman who was scanning items. And she was like, oh, I can take you over here. And I was just like, no, I'm good. Like, and like I got pointed by 2 people. Like, no, that lady's available for you. And I'm like, no, like, what? Are you guys crazy? Like, I don't want her touching every single thing that I'm about to buy. Like, that is crazy. Like, and the paranoia is insane because, you know, any other day I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, okay, whatever. But like leaving the house, like you're saying, it's like you're terrified of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There I am. Yeah. That's basically, you know, I think...
You know the crazy thing about going through self-checkout?
What's that?
Is that, like, there's, like, 1,000 people, like, scanning stuff on those machines all day.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but that's why you don't touch any of it. You just scan it. You just swipe past it.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong.
Some people, they don't think, so they're putting their hands all over everything.
Well, they could even sneeze all over it. Like,
the credit card machine. Yeah, have you ever seen?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but that was one of the things that she said is that they wiped down because we brought Clorox wipes with us, and so we wiped down the machine before we started using it.
Literally, I'm like I have them in my hand. Like I wear them as gloves. I have like wipies on my hands when I grab things off the shelves.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing them with my wipey.
Yeah. So we started doing that, and the woman who at first was trying to herd us into the other one. And she was like, "Oh, we wipe them down after every use." And I was like, "Okay, I'm doing it anyway, but that's the right thing if you're actually doing that."
So I gotta laugh, like Lammy, he's doing it. I think he heard me when I said like I need him in shape for Fred. Fred Norris is like your worst nightmare right now. He is like like the Obi-Wan Kenobi, like the Yoda of technical radio. I mean, he is just in my eyes. Like I pass him over too. You know what I mean? Fred. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I just sort of like I was angry that Howard had sort of like played into this whole Jimmy Fallon thing in my mind. It's like I wake up in the morning and literally like I need to see I feel like I need to hear that audio right now. I'm gonna pull that up on my end because Well, I mean, really, it's so upsetting to me, this whole, like, Howard and Jimmy Fallon love fest. Howard and I don't know if we're allowed to, like, play it, like, just jack their video from their website. Why not? I've jacked their logo.
This is pirate radio, Butz.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at this stage, anything goes, all right? You know, I don't play the music because I don't want to get it. I don't want the, you know, Facebook has their algorithms, but I don't know. Let's see. Howard Stern, Jimmy Fallon, you know, fellatio. Let's see. Those are my search terms. Okay. This is actually the clip that I woke up to. Okay, this is what it sounded like.
Developing a new impression. Do you lock yourself in a room and like do it over and over and over again?
Like I can do you, but my impression of you. Am I around the area?
Yeah.
Now like this. Like look at you. Look at what you've done. Wow. We've said it. We've said it all. We've said it all, Robin.
Your Seinfeld is fucking great.
Can we talk about the impressions that he does? He's doing the impressions that he does.
He's doing the impressions that he does.
I would watch the whole episode. You do a good Chris Rock, too. You do a great Chris Rock.
Yeah, that was a real inspired Seinfeld, right? I'm doing the impressions that I do.
Impersonating, like, kind of screaming. Everyone must have thought it was crazy. Barack Obama. Barack Obama.
So you would walk around with your headset
take that
on.
back,
Let's say you're
Larry.
walking around outside, and you're not listening to Chris Rock for enjoyment at that point. You're listening to get down the voice, right? It becomes important.
Oh, yes. I study Chris Rock.
just
It's very important to me that I listen to him. I need to get the voice just right. Anyway, you know, it's like the two of them. You know, then there's this other clip where he's just like, you know, when you have your show from your house, it's like your daughters come into the shot, and it's so great. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know. Look, I don't know. I guess it is. It's nice. Let them behind the wall. It's like, but there is something about entertainment that it's supposed to be like, you know, and if it was a good idea to have your kids on set, then they would have been on set. You know what I'm saying? That's like it's an old philosophy. It's like, oh, that's cute, honey. Oh, no, don't put the Play-Doh on Daddy when he's giving his monologue.
Do you think Sinatra? Do you think the Rat Pack would have allowed their children?
Actually, he did all the time. He had Nancy up. He had Nancy with the laughing face. They had a song. He did Nancy, and then Frank Sinatra Jr. Had his act, and yeah, he did that. But, you know, he put them in a song. He had them work out the actual act. You know what I mean?
Right.
The only people he let interrupt him were Dean and Sammy.
Right. Yeah. And it's because they're Dean and Sammy. So.
Because they're professionals.
Yeah.
Thank
at
you.
least the kids had talent. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you got a fan out there. Someone really appreciated your Rachu. They heard it. Yeah, and we laughed because it was like he pulled up a random sneeze, and it was like a baby sneeze. It's like, like, dude, wipe your baby's nose, dude. All right. Well, I don't know, Nick. I mean, I could really do this all night.
Yeah.
What do you think? You want to keep pushing on, or are you good? You want to go back to your quiet room?
Yeah, this is my quiet room, so
it's a pretty nice looking room.
You can kick me off, bro, but
no, I'm not kicking you anywhere. I mean, we're just out here. I mean, like I said, I had a long day. I feel like I literally had like 3 gigs today, and then this. I haven't worked this much in weeks, and we're not supposed to be working right now. I mean, I used to make more per gig, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. I'll take the work. Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try.
I can't get it, so.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, like you got to try harder. I mean, you can manifest the rig.
I could.
From the heavens.
I could.
Amazon is delivering. You probably only need like, I mean, it's money you don't have, but it's an investment.
Well, So I put together this computer, but I definitely did something wrong when I did it because it broke like a couple months later, and I had someone who knew what they were doing fix it, and it's worked since then. So I think what I've learned is that I shouldn't put together my own computer. I should find someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, right. If you're putting, right, the people who put together computers, whether it's you or not, should know what they're doing.
They should. And I
Yeah, right. No, because, I also see the other side of it is like, how are you going to learn how to do anything, or how do you have any? Why let everyone else have all the good times? You know what I mean? It's like, why I want to put together a computer. Why not put together a computer?
Well, that's what I thought, and then I realized like, I spent like $800, and I broke it. So that it was like that was a good experience. I'm not hopeless if I had
was
to
fun.
do this again.
Sounds fun.
But,
sounds wonderful.
But maybe I'll just let someone else do this next time.
Yeah, well, I love these guys with technical savvy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like John over here, he's been completing me. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like, it's just sort of like with the right engineer, like a musician can fly. And like with the it's ridiculous.
Well, that's what Craig is to me. He built three of my guitars.
True.
He built my pedal board. He told me what amp to buy. He told me what cabinet and what speakers to buy.
Exactly.
He
That's
told
exactly
me what
what I'm talking
overdrive pedals to buy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I sound a lot better, like tonally, than I did 2 years ago. Like a lot better. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that process happened a little while ago, but I definitely remembered like some period in like the middle of my time in the band, Barely Dead, and where like I remember turning to you like in a succession of nights and just being like, bro, like dude, like you're bringing the fire right now. Like, not like you weren't. It's just somehow you like stepped it up. Like it just something like you just unleashed the beast at a certain point. Like you've been like that solo, like I said, that you threw down in Half Step is beautiful and well constructed.
Right. Like I think having the right equipment doesn't like make you a great guitar player or a great instrumentalist or anything like that, but it can help you achieve sounds and ideas that you're hearing in your head but struggling to execute prior to like getting good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things where it's like, I wish I could sound like this, and he would go, oh, then you want that's this, you need this. And like, oh, he's like, Milt has one, let's try it out. Yeah, that's what you need. So so
yeah, like I experienced that today when I was doing the Sinatra set earlier. Like I had like, I ended up at one point putting both earphones on because sometimes I like having one off. It just works for me better that way. I like to hear a little bit of my own sound, but at one point I'm putting it in and I'm like, it sounds so nice in here. Like I started using like just a different sensitivity. Like at some point I got a little bit lost in like the quality of the sound that I had going through my cans. And I'm like, yeah, like it makes it so much easier to actually sing. Like we know how it is being a singer. You know that too. It's just if you can't hear yourself right, and I mean if you don't hear yourself right, you can hear yourself, but if you don't hear yourself right, you're not even singing. You're shouting. It's not even singing what you're doing. You're not actually singing.
Right. You're just trying to like half the time I'm on stage, I'm just trying to hear, like I'm trying to sing loud enough so I can hear myself.
That actually, now that I think about it, it really stumbles onto the secret of music, which is listening. And nothing happens until you actually just decide to listen.
Yep.
Right? And it's like, and that is the
facts. Say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, nothing happens until you listen, and that even starts with yourself. See, right? I hear you when you put the reverb on, right? That's the point. You listen, you hear things. Yeah. It's like, I can't even begin to start my own performance unless I'm really listening to what I'm doing. And then it's like, until I really hear my own sound. And then, if I can't hear that right, how am I going to even listen to anybody else? You know, like, but that's the whole thing. It just starts with like being inward and starting with your ears and just listening. And then you notice things like, I'm not listening to my own sound well enough, or I don't hear myself well enough, so I need to dial that in.
Yeah, I mean, I've always found like playing the jam music. I've always found that like whenever I'm not feeling right, like, you know, it's just like not flowing or whatever it is, it's because I'm listening to myself too much, or like, you know, in my own sort of headspace. And the best nights are the ones where I'm completely focused on Lopes or Jeff or Milt or Dave, or, you know, just trying to play off of them and let them inform what I'm going to do, because then it just becomes a lot more cohesive. And if everyone's doing that, then everyone's using each other to sort of prop up the jam, and it doesn't just become 5 people playing notes in a key, you know.
Yeah, you know, I almost look at it like I think for Grateful Dead music, you can actually use like, you know, the metaphor of like the bus that comes by that people get in, you know, and where it all began, you know, like it's kind of like, and it's another way of using the metaphor I like to use, where it's like a guided meditation that several people share, but it's like, but for the sake of us playing this music in a band together, it's almost like we're in a bus together and we're looking out the window, and what do we see? You know what I mean? That's for us to determine as a band. It's like, but we're in there and we're looking out at like, where are we going? What do we see? And we sort of have to paint that picture together. You know what I mean? It's like a combined effort, and it's just and it's good. I got to tell you, like, the strength like of what happens with our band is in the improv. I mean, I feel like, you know, we play the tunes like jazz. You know, we like you know, they've got like a form, and I think that's the key to what the Dead did as well, is that they took their forms and then they open them up. And you know, I think that a lot. We spend a lot of time. We play a lot. You know, normally this is very weird. You know, I don't think we're going to lose like our mojo from not having our weekly check-in like we're used to getting.
No, if anything, this is like exactly what we need. Is like a break to sort of recharge.
Think so? I didn't need a break.
Financially, but
right.
Maybe like creatively.
No, certainly like this is crazy because, you know, like I did a radio show for 3 years, you know what I mean? But like while the world was like, you know, like humming along, like everyone was doing their thing. But now that, you know, like the world has slowed down, it's like people have a chance to check out my show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, and some people seem to like it. But, you know, you wouldn't have known that before. Like, you know, not to say that EMF didn't have its listeners, but, you know,
radio in the digital age, it's not easy.
Yeah, we're figuring it out, and it's like I said, the real opportunity here is just getting to spend all this time working with new technologies and learning how to make them fun. You know?
Yeah.
You know, if I have like the ability to like, you know, put up little logos and shit like that, well, I might as well like have this constant reminder in my face about how I'm talking shit to Howard Stern right now by stealing his logo.
I mean, he's got to learn somehow, you know? Don't mess with the bug.
Oh my God, dude! You know, it's just the thing about it is like people have been messing with me for 45 years because I've sat on the sidelines and just let people do their thing. And enough of that. There's been enough time, okay? And in the meantime, I've just grown. Like I've been focusing on what I do. I've been improving my game. You know, I made the metaphor the other day, the comparison that it was more that I remind myself of Clubber Lang in the beginning of Rocky 3.
Yeah.
You know, like where like Rocky has gotten, you know, he's training to string orchestras. You know, and paparazzi at his training sessions and smiling and getting kisses on the cheek. You know, which is really upsetting to his manager. Meanwhile, across town, Clubber Lang is angrily shouting and sweating and doing sit-ups in like a broken down cell, you know? And that's me. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, that's the world needs Butz.
Hey, Fallon. Hey, Fallon. But you show him, come over here and show you what it's like. Get served on stage by a real man.
Exactly. Let him know.
See? See, Vibes knows. He sees it. He's been around me too much. He knows way too many things about me. And he's ready. He's backing me up. I know that when I got a guy behind... Listen. We have tested our resolve. We've watched too much wrestling together for me to not know what I've got in D Vibes. Well, all right, guys. I think that's it. I think we've hit the wall. Like the real, like Vibes. I think we need to tighten up your connection. We're gonna have to get back to the research because you're in slow mo tonight. I mean, your content is fine. I can't. I think you're the uptakes, even with on the phone call, your phone is slow. See? See? All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up. But, Nick, I just want to say, I miss you. I love you. I've had such a blast playing in this band, and I can't wait to get back to it. To that end, I'm thinking, we're going to have to get a video thing going soon so we can feel that feeling of a collaborative effort.
Yeah, I think so, too. We're going to work on it.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing that video with you today and sharing it with the people. I think I might just play it one more time on the way out. I don't see the harm in that.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah,
I think that's it. But have a good night, Nick.
Dude, thank you for having me. Hope to be here again.
Anytime. We're I have a feeling we got another 4 weeks of shows every night. I'm not as long as I see my counterpart, coming and making the trek. So I think we're gonna do this, So
all right,
we're gonna keep going.
Thanks for having me. Love and miss you too, brother.
Absolutely.
Stay safe. Stay well.
Be well, my friend.
All right, man.
Nick Swift, ladies and gentlemen.
See you.
Vibes, you still with me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just, I think there's the major latency in your end. It's like every time you think you've said something, we don't hear it for another second or two, so the timing just isn't right. See these long pauses? They're not good for radio, so I'm just going to punch out. Yeah. We'll get them tomorrow, okay? This wasn't the day, okay, where we cut the promos. I know it was WrestleMania. I know today, but I haven't even seen WrestleMania yet. Did you watch it tonight?
I watched a little bit of it earlier. Just a little bit of it. I will say that Instagram kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, I see Benny Tucker is out there. I want to give him a shout out because he has so far done for Benny, he's done a really good job of not revealing any spoilers. But he kind of fucked that up a little bit a second ago. I mean, I kind of went fishing for it, but I didn't. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, let's get up and get out of here, D-Vibes. I'm playing the theme, and this is how it is. This is we'll call it a stay of execution, on these guys. We'll get back at them. Because that D-Vibes, okay, first of all, we have indeed arrived at the end of the Michael Butler Butz Show Radio Spectacular. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We debuted Mississippi Half Step, Uptown Toodle-oo. Lammy's got it. We're gonna, when the show is over, we're gonna get these notes correct this time. But I'm really glad you actually shaved a note because it gave me a reason to play it again. Because that's really what I wanted to do. So, thank you. That's how chemistry works. Even the wrong moves are the right moves when it's right. This is where I bust into a romantic love song. How much I love my producer. And D-Vibes, you are a part of that story. I mean, I'll tell anyone who wants to listen that the Butz Show is a buddy flick. That's what we're doing here. It's nothing without the friendships. That's what I stand for. That's what I'm bringing to the table. I'm sharing my friends with my other friends. And we're trying to have some fun out here, shake things up a little bit. And that's why I'm talking to you, Jimmy Fallon. Listen, it's a bit, but I am ready to back it up. That's the thing. I love this bit because if anyone pays attention, I will back it up. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back, same Butz time, same Butz channel. You know the story. D-Vibes. We out.
On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. I had the mark just as plain as day, which could not be denied. They say the king called Abel, rolling loaded dice. The ace of spades behind his ear, and him not thinking twice. Half step, Mississippi uptown, a toodle-oo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rockin' rye, farewell to you, old southern sky, and I'm on my way, on my way. All you got to live for is what you left behind. Get yourself a powder charge and seal that silver mine. Lost my boots in transit bay, pile of smoking leather. I nailed a retread to my feet and prayed for better weather. A Mississippi uptown, a toodle-oo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rockin' rye, farewell to you, old southern sky, and I'm on my way, on my way. They say that when your ship comes in, the first man takes the sails, the second takes the after deck, the third the planks and rails. What's the point in calling shots? The cue ain't straight in line. A cue ball's made of styrofoam,